chasing the storm.
To really get the proper forecast correct.
Caplin News is live with behind-the-scenes video from the Hurricane Hunter plane. Rescue efforts underway.
It's mostly going to be the homes and the businesses.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. And a man honoring his brother.
I think the adrenaline's kicking in.
Using an iconic symbol for underdogs. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm David Lascano.
And I'm Valentina Gaspari. Today is Monday, September 30th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
An eye in the sky, right above the eye of the storm. The forecast of Hurricane Helene's path was so accurate thanks in large part to the Air Force crew on board the Hurricane Hunter plane.
Caplin's Benjamin Curie is live at the National Hurricane Center in West Miami-Dade with a behind-the-scenes look at one of the flights.
Good morning. I'm here at the National Hurricane Center where millions of data points are collected in order to create those hurricane forecast cones that so many of us in South Florida rely on to stay prepared and ready for the big storm ahead. But how exactly is that data collected and where does it come from? A TV news crew had the opportunity to learn more last week. Take a listen.
It's loud, it's bumpy, and it's one of the most important parts of making this hurricane forecast cone. The Hurricane Hunters, the only routinely flying weather reconnaissance team in the world.
Our primary mission is to take the coordinates that the National Hurricane Center gives us and to find the exact center of the storm.
It takes about 60,000 pounds of jet fuel for a 10-hour flight. The Hunter sites set on Hurricane Helene.
Get into these storms so we can make sure we get the most current information out to National Hurricane Service and everyone back home.
That's personal for Major Boykin. His family lives in Pensacola, Florida, close enough to the cone of concern, which his flight is feeding data to fine-tune.
It's vital to have these assets in the storm continuously as it's approached the United States to really get the proper forecast correct.
Automatically, the plane is sending back a slew of information directly to the National Hurricane Center in Miami every 10 minutes on the dot, plus data these scientists are about to collect.
So that is the drop zone. And you can see it's just a small tube.
That little tube providing a large amount of information. Everything from wind speed and direction to pressure and temperatures. But it's not just above the water. These bigger drop zones go underwater, 100 meters below the ocean surface, bringing up even more information about the hurricane.
We actually do those coordinated with the U.S. Navy.
As of this morning, the Associated Press is reporting that 91 people have been lost over the course of the hurricane across 6 states. And while we do mourn their loss and we feel for their families and friends, one can't help but imagine just how many more people would have been lost without this life-saving data collected by the Hurricane Hunters. With that in mind, the Hurricane Hunters truly are heroes. Reporting for Caplin News from West Miami-Dade, I'm Benjamin Kior.
Rescue efforts are still underway following Helene's aftermath in the southeast. About 2.5 million people are still without power. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has more on a Florida town where the storm made landfall.
Communities in the southeast are grappling with widespread devastation after Helene made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane on Thursday. Asheville, North Carolina is experiencing the worst of it as entire communities have been trapped by floodwaters.
We've lost communications capabilities. It's very difficult for us to move around the community. Many of the roads are closed. Trees are down. We're clearing those as quick as we can. And a lot of the critical infrastructure that we've become used to every day in normal times is now gone, and we have to work around it.
Hundreds of roads remain closed in western North Carolina Sunday. Crews are working to reach people who are trapped with limited supplies.
Our biggest need right now is to take care of the people that live in this community. We need water desperately. We have yet to receive any water.
Millions of people remain without power across several states, including Tennessee, where dozens had to be rescued from floodwaters on a rooftop of a hospital.
I've never seen a hurricane disaster in Tennessee that has looked like this, not in the years that I've been here.
In Florida, where Helene made landfall, communities were wiped out from storm surge and strong winds. Countless residents are displaced. Boil water notices are in place in multiple counties.
We've got a couple things to remedy, but then it's mostly going to be the homes and the businesses and fixing that.
In Keaton Beach, Florida, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
The U.S. Department of Justice takes action against the state of Alabama for removing more than 3,000 eligible voters from the upcoming election. The sweep-out violates the 90-day period before a federal election that prohibits officials from removing any names from the eligible voters list. Those removed were allegedly non-citizens, according to Alabama's GOP Secretary of State. The Department of Justice stated that all the voters should be reinstated on the list, and more than 700 names have been re-registered.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams is accused of bribery and wire fraud but refuses to resign from office. Prosecutors have listed many instances of alleged wrongful conduct, including questionable campaign expenses on air travel. Adams pled not guilty. He said during a church service yesterday, quote, "I'm not going to resign."
Tennis icon Billie Jean King becomes the first female athlete to receive the Congressional Gold Medal. The 80-year-old announced a remarkable achievement on social media, and get this, she won 39 Grand Slam titles and also advocated for sports and social equality. The Congressional Gold Medal, Congress's highest honor, has exclusively been given to males. That was until she broke the barrier.
This morning, heroes are remembered. Sunday, a yearly 5K run honors fallen firefighters and those who lost their lives on 9/11. WCBS Cinia Maldonado has more on the starting line.
Thousands of people taking off Sunday morning from Brooklyn for the 23rd annual Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk.
It's my 4th year. Every year of high school I've been doing it.
The 5K starting at the entrance of the Hugh L. Carey Tunnel, runners then making a 3.5-mile journey to West and Murray Streets in Lower Manhattan. The event symbolizing fallen FDNY firefighter Stephen Siller's final footsteps from the foot of the Battery Tunnel to the Twin Towers, the path he took back on 9/11.
On that day when Stephen Siller abandoned his car in the tunnel and ran all the way to the towers, he did that for strangers. He did that for us.
Stephen's brother, Frank Siller, says it also pays homage to the 343 FDNY firefighters, law enforcement officers, and thousands of civilians who lost their lives.
We made a promise that we're never going to forget the sacrifice that was made 23 years ago, and this is proof that Tunnel to Towers holds true to their promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation helps provide mortgage-free homes to Gold Star families and the families of fallen first responders. Those we spoke with say the impact their work has priceless.
We're both retired military, so we completely are sympathetic to everything that happened with 9/11. So our hearts go out to these families, so we want to do everything we can do to support.
That was WCBS Cinia Maldonado reporting. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation also hosts an annual tower climb where participants climb 104 stories from inside the One World Observatory in Lower Manhattan.
Those who stream music on YouTube will walk a silent road, even if it's the only one they've ever known. Many artists like Green Day, Adele, and Bob Dylan have been blocked from the platform since Saturday due to a legal dispute with the performing rights organization SESAC. A YouTube representative stated that they were not able to come to a new agreement with the organization after the previous one expired.
Seems like Green Day is going to be on a holiday, but a potential shortage in the produce section.
And that's still ahead, and so is the story.
I made it to 300, and then I was like, okay, I'll come back and I'll do it the right way.
An ultimate gesture of brotherly love in the city that's named for it. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles, watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward. Come together
And discover
how accepting our differences can make us stronger.
A man stepping up in support of his brother. We all know those iconic steps leading up to the Philadelphia Museum of Art from the classic film Rocky, a symbol of the underdog's triumph through hard work.
But have you ever tried running the stairs 1,000 times? That's what one man did to honor his brother. WKYW's Ava Anderson has more details.
James Resnick was up all night. In fact, he told us he was awake and running since Thursday evening with only short breaks to drink fluids.
A lot of these Gatorades and stuff.
And use a bathroom. By Saturday, he hadn't lost steam.
I think the adrenaline's kicking in, so I'm wide awake.
James wanted to run the Rocky Steps 1,000 times in honor of his brother Sammy, for whom things aren't as easy physically.
He's that hero for me.
Sammy got in a bad car accident 22 years ago and now lives in a full-time care facility.
He's never complained about his situation once. Definitely the funniest and most charming person I know. And when I need advice, I actually go to him.
Resnick wants people to look at his journey and show them that we have the power to rise above our circumstances. We were there on Friday to see part of Resnick's journey. It's a goal he set over a year ago.
So I came to do it last year, not prepared, and it was 90 degrees out. I made it to 300, and then I was like, okay, I'll come back and I'll do it the right way.
And with his brother on his mind throughout, Resnick finished a critical lap.
999.
Let's go, woo!
And he was ready to run right through the finish line.
Go, James. Congratulations. Woo!
1,000 laps, 40 hours. So thank you to the city. I love everybody.
As Resnick got to the bottom, Sammy was waiting for him.
It's all about love, whether, friends, family, your siblings, whoever. It's just all about love.
A feat of brotherly love in the city of brotherly love.
That was WKYW's Ava Anderson reporting. James says his goal is to inspire others to become a better version of themselves.
Longshore workers could possibly go on strike tomorrow, interrupting the business flow and knocking off many popular products off the shelves. The strike could lead to a shortage of chocolate, alcohol, and fruits like banana and cherry, which would mean a higher price for the only goods on stock. Many businesses are preparing to shut down for this coming strike to mitigate their losses.
I could really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes?
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Pantotech in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
all the time we have for Newsbreak today. I'm Valentina Gaspari.
And I'm David Lascano. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.